If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
We're going to plant our potatoes today, and we get our potatoes from Wood Prairie Farms out of Bridgewater, Maine. They're a family-owned and operated specialty potato farm. It's been around for about 43 years. So how we're going to, we've got two varieties, Yukon Jim and All Blue. The Yukon Jim is a relation to the Yukon Gold, but it's more resistant if I understand it correctly. So what we're going to do, we've got this raised bed here that we made out of pallets, and we're going to plant our potatoes in that, and then also a 4x4 bed from Root Maker over my shoulder here. So what we've got is, we'll use about 15 potatoes here, about 16 potatoes there. Now these potatoes, Wood Prairie Farm, we've got potatoes from them for a number of years. If you haven't got your potatoes from them, it may be too late, they may be sold out, but keep this in mind for next year because that's the place to go. So this here potato, there's the sprout, and that is going to, as it grows, it's utilizing the energy from the tuber itself here until it pierces through the soil, starts to photosynthesize, then it will detach, it'll grow roots and detach from the actual seed potato. That's why whenever you dig a potato up, you see that rotten potato, this is the remnants of it. It's not a potato that was formed and then rotted, it was the actual seed potato that had been detached. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just drop these right in the ground as the size they are. If they're bigger, like a baseball, and they have multiple, again, you can divide them. So we're using the 3x8 power planter earth auger, and you want to plant your potatoes about 1 foot, it's on 1 foot square foot method. The square foot method is 1 per square foot. So I'm going to go about that methodology with this bed, and we'll see how many potatoes we actually get in it. Let's go a little closer here. Now, we don't want to, we want to plant it about 6 inches deep. Sometimes in the row method, whenever you're in the regular ground, you'll do a trench, then you'll cover it up, and then you'll hill it up even more. This is not creating more tubers on the potato. A potato is already predetermined by nature to develop a certain amount of potatoes around the root system of it. A potato tower does not work. Planting a potato here and then building walls in order to get the stem to continue to grow with the expectation that everywhere that stem touches soil, more tubers will come out and grow, simply is not factual. It is a myth, it's a garden myth, it doesn't work. There's no potato known to man that does such a thing. So what we're going to do here, and you can do this in a container as well, is plant it deep, and you don't have to hill it up. The reason why you're hilling them up is because the potato, if allowed to be exposed to sunlight, becomes green and can become, and it will become toxic and can have digestive and stomach problems for you if you consume a green potato. So we're going to start getting these planted now. With the fertilizer, we are going to backfill. We're going to add some fertilizer to this. Okay, so fertilizing this, we could just put the fertilizer right there. However, I'm going to cover it about 1 inch, maybe 2, and I'm going to fill half the hole up. And then whatever your fertilizer you use, the recommended rate, you can go ahead and put in the hole. The reason why it's best in this instance to cover the potato and then backfill and then put the fertilizer. So the reason why leaching occurs when it rains and the water is going to pull that nutrients down. If I put it at the base of the potato, then some will get there and the potato will utilize some of it, but a lot of it will dissipate or go below the potato. So that's a good reason why you might want to do it halfway up the hole. And then we're just going to fill it in. Now I'm not going to do it right now, but I want to make sure I space these evenly. And then we'll talk about mulching and watering requirements in order to get these potatoes to grow. Now you can do this in a raised bed as we are, a container, a grow bag. You can also do it in the ground. If you do it in a 5-gallon bucket or in a grow bag, go ahead and do like we're doing. Plant it very deep, cover it once, and then you don't have to backfill or hill up at all. In the ground, you can do the hill method with the row. We've also done a no-dig potato method where we put some compost down, put the potatoes on that compost, fertilize, put straw and yard debris, and we grew them that way as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get these planted. Going to space them about 1 foot, go about 6 inches down, 6-8 inches down. This is good loose compost. And then we will backfill, and we'll talk about mulching options when it comes to your potatoes. All right, so I've got those planted, filling. I'm just taking the rake and just knocking the soil into the hole because they're going to be easy there. Okay. Now let's talk about the watering regimen here and mulching. You need to keep the soil moist, damp, not soggy wet. We're going to hook an irrigation system up to this that'll be on a timer so it will water and it will give the potatoes the required amount of water that they need in order to grow and to develop. Many times in the past we haven't had an irrigation system on potatoes in the actual ground. Even though our soil is fertile, it still has a compactive density to it, and the potatoes would suffer because it didn't have the moisture to loosen or keep the soil soft in order for them to develop correctly. So also now, in addition to the irrigation system, we're going to add mulch. Now we're using a leaf mold or shredded leaves that we have saved over the course of last fall. And all I'm going to do is add about an inch layer to this. And then whenever we get the irrigation hooked on, we can bury it underneath the mulch. If you don't have leaves, you can use straw, chemical-free, seed-free grass clippings. The reason that being said, the chemical-free, if you feed your lawn with a weed and feed of a non-organic material that contains a persistent herbicide that is a broadleaf killing chemical, that when you bring in those grass clippings, they are bonded to the grass clippings themselves. When you water, it rains, it will release that chemical and kill your potatoes or other broadleaf plants in your garden and toxify the soil. Even if you put them in a compost pile and turn it into black soil, that is still very persistent for years to come. So you can always use straw, shredded leaves, grass clippings to keep the soil moist, to repel or to suppress weeds, and to keep your plants, whether it's potatoes, peppers, eggplants, or any other ones, healthy and happy until they're ready to be harvested. As always, thanks for watching. Remember to rate, subscribe, and comment.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.